Hello from Vermont and Ontario. I'm Sarah Stroup and I teach political science at Middlebury College.
I'm Wendy Wong and I'm an associate professor of political science at the University of Toronto. We are here today to tell you a little bit about our new book called The Authority Trap. Thanks for joining us.
Wendy, we initially started collaborating because we were both interested in an important global actor, international non-governmental organizations, or INGOs. Can you talk a little bit about the conventional wisdom surrounding INGOs?
Yeah, so I think most of us can think of an INGO or two off the top of our heads. And it's because they're active in so many different areas, such as environmental protection, human rights, humanitarian relief, and poverty alleviation. And they're also everywhere. Their numbers have skyrocketed since the end of the Cold War. Many people equate growing numbers with growing influence, and they also equate INGO with INGO, making them interchangeable. We challenge these ideas. We look at the differences among the tens of thousands of INGOs that are out there. It turns out it's very difficult for INGOs to become authoritative. In order to influence states, corporations, and their peers, INGOs have to first become known by those audiences, and then they have to receive deference from them. This is our theoretical argument.
In the book, we try to actually measure INGO authority and then explore its implications. So we begin with a random sample of several hundred INGOs because we're trying to understand the average INGO experience. We found that the average INGO is ignored by the major audiences of their work, including the media, policymakers, the public, and their peers. That is, they're broadcasting, but nobody is receiving their transmission. We then looked at a smaller group of INGOs, those that were most likely to be deferred to by a number of different audiences. From this group, we found that even among those that are most likely to matter, very few of them have deference from multiple audiences. A few of them do, though, and we call these leading INGOs.
So the takeaway here is that leading INGOs might have more authority, but more authority doesn't translate into more possibilities. We argue that leading INGOs are very concerned with maintaining the status they worked so hard to achieve, and these status maintenance concerns often constrain the strategic choices they make. We show that status affects INGO choices to compete, cooperate, or condemn their three main audiences: states, corporations, and other INGOs.
So in 3 chapters of the book, we look at these 3 main audiences, and we use comparative case studies of collective INGO campaigns to understand how the presence of a leading INGO in an INGO coalition affects their strategies. We found that across a number of different issue areas and audiences, leading INGOs prefer strategies that lead to what we call vanilla victories. These are reformist policy demands that are widely palatable to a number of different audiences.
In short, INGOs work within the system rather than changing it. And those leading INGOs are responsible for tangible changes in global policy, but they're much less transformational than many INGO supporters might think.
So that's the argument. We'd love to hear your thoughts about it and about international NGOs in general. You can find our contact information at our personal websites at Middlebury and Toronto. And thanks to the Duck of Minerva and the Bridging the Gap Initiative for hosting us.